Shalom. Shalom, everyone, and welcome to the 49th episode of Africa Logistical Agency. With your host, brother.
Hey, how you doing, Brother Gar?
I'm trying to just, give praise and give thanks and just keep going, brother Mike.
That's how I go. Hey, these are the times in which we're living at, man. I mean, I know to read about events that will be happening in the time in which we're living in. It's a much different thing to be living in it, to witness it, and to be affected by it.
Yep.
To be affected by it. Now that's a totally different story. You know what I mean? When you have you have your nice job, your nice little home, apartment, whatever you want, have your vehicle, your money in your pockets, and you go through a couple of pages of the Bible, you feel good and you feel like you done your deed for the day. Yes, but now I ain't gonna say when reality kick in, but I will say when things do not go your way, it can be a test for you. It can be a test for you, and that's for anyone. Truthfully, it can be a test for you, and unfortunately, well, I mean, I can't say unfortunately. I'm about to stop saying that. Truthfully, we read or listen to the Bible. And from a logistical standpoint, we have an understanding that these are the things that's supposed to take place. But we did not include ourselves in part of that.
Are you telling on me, brother Mike?
No, I'm not telling on you, brother. When I tell you that, I'm talking to myself also. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. That's exactly, you're right. It's like we read it and then, to experience it is a whole different thing.
Whole different world. A whole different world. And I hear a lot of brothers and sisters say, if these brothers and sisters don't wake up, they're gonna be destroyed by God and all of that. My thinking on that is totally different. Leave the judgment, the power to the Most High. Leave it to Him. He already told us, hey, you gonna be trampled upon.
Yep.
But that's one thing we did not take into consideration, even while we were woke. We did not take that into consideration, that we're going to be trampled. Trampled means to be worn out.
Tried.
As if horses just roll on top of you. And these are the things that happen to a lot of our brothers and sisters. I mean, a lot of them, they having these issues. Hey Garth, did you know that October 1st, the ports on was it East Coast? They all supposed to be shutting down. Nothing going out, nothing coming in.
I had no idea.
And then and Garth, check this out though. Guess what race of people lives more so on the East Coast of America? Us.
Or
us.
Well, yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about like some of the southern states. I mean, it's considered. They may say south, but it's southeast. But it's a lot of us. It's a heavy population of us. I mean, we have a lot of things This is part of that trampling. And I mean, it can do some things to you. I mean, it can have you have your mind over here while your mind is over there. Uh-oh. And you're trying to make sense out of it. I mean, man, I know I'm not dumb. I know I'm educated. I know I can do this. I know I can do that. But why in the world? I mean, I can't find a job right now because it's orchestrated. And then at the same time, um, the Most High already prophesied it. But the moment that we start putting ourselves into scriptures, the better off we're going to be. We got to put ourselves there. If we don't put ourselves there, we may be, we could be in for somewhat of a rude awakening. And don't get me wrong. It's not to say that all brothers and sisters are going to go through the same thing. But trust and believe. You will have something in common when it comes to that trampling. You may not be that person that would experience job loss, but trust and believe, you will have some type of loss where you will be feeling trampled. You're going to feel it. You're not going to escape it. You're right, Sister Zenobia, like a stampede. And this is where we at. I mean, the East Coast of these shipping docks supposed to be shutting down. What? Who do you think that's going to affect first and foremost? With a heavy population of us in the southern states and on the East Coast. That's going to be us. No food coming in, no food going out. What do you foresee? This is the thing. What do you foresee? I'm not trying to sit up and scare no one, but I would say prepare yourselves mentally.
You're not scaring anyone. You're just
right. And that's the thing. I'm not doing that, but it's like encouragement to stay on the watch. You know that these things are going to come upon you, and it may appear to be hopeless. And when I say appear, I mean just that. It will appear to be hopeless. That's how things can get to us, because when we start to look at things, oh man, I'm surrounded. These people done cut off my food source. I don't have food coming in, food coming out. Brothers and sisters, that's the reason why I was talking a few weeks ago. Hey, take you a potato in a bucket, get you some good soil somewhere while you have the time, and start throwing these things into the bucket. Keep a little water, find you some nutrients to go inside. These little bitty things will mean a great deal in the very near future. In the very near future. It's not something that we want to look down upon right now. Those days of looking down on growing a plant inside your house or outside of your house, oh no, that's becoming a fast, and it's becoming a reality. This is what's going on. Yeah, our brothers and sisters are losing jobs left and right. We have so many different distractions that's around us. The thing is, what is it that they are hiding? That they want to bombard us with all of these distractions. Now they're affecting the brothers and sisters' job, their livelihood. And at the same time, I will say this though, we was warned about these things, but we did not put ourselves in that picture. We just gave everything over to Babylon. We got to remember, we are in Babylon. We're going to be affected. If the dollar is dying, Who pockets it? Who would you think will be dying? You, because your livelihood depend upon that dollar that the Most High said He's going to destroy this nation. He said this. He said the money. The money is going to be floating around the streets. It's not going to be any good. It's not going to be anything that has to do with this system to which the Most High has an intense hatred against. It's going to be it's part of that judgment. This is the whole reason why Yahushua said, I must go to the Father and I must pray to the Father that He continue to watch over you, because you are a sheep in the midst of wolves. Wolves. You're sitting here. I mean, this is what we do. We're sitting right here minding our business while they're contemplating how to destroy these people. Let's see them suffer. This is what the world is doing. We must start putting ourselves logistically in the scriptures. Do not put ourselves, just because they're talking about a destruction or a judgment of a nation. If you are in that nation, you're going to have some of that effects of it. Not necessarily the judgment, but you're going to get the residue. If the food that you eat and the money in your pocket used to buy that food, you're going to be affected. Well as your clothing, your housing. Now we start to see this stuff a little bit. It's a lot more real now. Because I know I spoke about this stuff like a couple of weeks ago. When this is Satan stuff. If he wants it back and he said, I want all my stuff back. Only thing we can do is give it and walk away with our lives. That's the best, and that will be the best thing to do, because you're not from here. This is his system. We got put in his system by means of our forefathers, which landed us upon us a judgment, a curse. That's what got us here. Unfortunately, a lot of us got used to our living condition in captivity. And the Most High knew that this was going to happen, but He still stuck to His direction for His people. If you really go back and look at it, you got to ask yourself this. The scripture said in Revelation, get out of her, my people, if you do not want to share in her destruction. How old do you think that scripture is, Israel? How old do you think that scripture is? However old you think it is, 100, 3, 4, 5, 600, 1,000 years old, it was still, that's how old that warning has been. He's been warning us for that long. Not to saying that we were not being obedient, because everybody has circumstances are very different. For the vast majority of us, we just can't pop up and leave. And the Most High knows this. And He's going to use our captivity for His glorification. Did He not say, the world will have to know that I loved you? These downtrodden people that everybody hates. Everybody hates. Well, the nation rather hates. But putting ourselves in these scriptures, it's going to be a must. It's going to be a must that we do that, because if we don't, we may find ourselves somewhat bamboozling ourselves mentally, because that judgment we're going to get some of that residue. The things they're going to affect us, and we are at this. Hmm, we are we're so close. And I know a lot of brothers saying the same thing, but you never heard a whole lot of brothers and sisters say the same thing so repetitiously when they hop on their channels. They saying the same thing. They seeing the same thing. And the only reason we saying the same thing is by means of Yahuwah. His spirit is moving his people to speak an urgent truth. An urgent truth. This is it. You're right. Says Thomas, I mean, yes, Yah says he's warning us. And like I said, we're going to be trampled on. We may feel that all hope is lost. But the Most High, he said he would never do away with Israel. Never. And for whatever reason, and I can be wrong on this now, but I have never seen. I mean, I know brothers and sisters in South America and the European lands, they going through some trials and tribulations, but I ain't never seen so much stuff going on with the so-called African Americans. It's like we're like a sore thumb to the world. We're like that sore thumb that they said, we just need to cut that thumb off. That thumb caused so much trouble. They always voicing their opinion about something. They think they are smart. This is what the world is saying. You can't tell these Negroes nothing. This is what the world is saying. And it appears to me that this exodus out of the West is going to be a domino effect. It's going to be a domino effect because they very well know. Why do you think that you have these the brothers, these leaders say our African American brothers and sisters come home? They know the education we hold. They also know that a vast majority of African Americans, so called, we don't play. We flat out do not play. They can call us upset. Oh, they always mad. They got a quick temper. Well, I'm gonna say it like this. They brought it to us. They brought that heat to us. And we just give it back to them. And now they can't take it. They're noticing there's a strength that they used to have that is absolutely gone. Do you all remember when, not Solomon, Samson? No. Samson had a confidence, and he should have maintained that confidence. He knew that they was not going to be able to defeat him, but he knew where his power came from. So it was not that it was out of arrogance. He knew where his power came from, and he wielded that power. He wielded it. Yes, he did. Then he allows stress. He allows stress to get the best of him. And you all know that his wife, she got on his nerve, that the Gentile got on his nerve, which he ain't had no business being with anyway. Truthfully, just go off topic for a moment. How in the world would you tell this woman, what was it, 2 or 3 times, how to get a how to overtake him, and then the Philistines come in and try to that's a snitch. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It was he should have woke up like, hold on. Wait a minute, I told you
We
this.
call that,
You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm Garth, come on now.
That's called pillow talking, right?
You snitching? Hey, you snitching while you're laying on your pillow,
right?
Snitching in your dreams.
It's well, that's literally like, that's where, I mean, for like that's where a man is very vulnerable.
Man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
She can get anything out of him at that moment because he's left vulnerable.
And the scripture says that she was like a running faucet, and you could just hear the drips. And it got on his nerve. But he should have looked at this. Wait a minute. Every time I tell you, these guys come up on me. I'm like, wait a minute, and but he did not think that way, and it cost him. The Most High let it happen. He knew his Levitical law, a Nazarite law. He knew what he could and could not do. He should not have told that woman the source of his strength. And she is not of Israel. And she was working with her own people. That's the pillow talk I don't want. Period. No. But, the stress that our brothers and sisters are experiencing, along with this awakening, because there's a lot more brothers and sisters awakening. Let's not get that misunderstood. But along with that awakening, these brothers and sisters are having issues with their finances and things. It's there to affect your line of awakening. That's what it's there to do. And if you feel, feel, you can have money. You can have money. And your money still can be shrinking while you still have money. Because you go in there and buy a bottle of water. And a bottle of water costs you $4 when you used to pay a $1.25 for. Yeah, your money is affected. Now it's time to do what the world do. Start downsizing. Start laying off some things that you don't need. Do what the world do. Give it right back to the world. Oh, well, let me cut this. Well, let me cut this out. I know back in the days, when cable TV was the thing. I mean, when I was working for the phone company, and every time I climbed that pole, man, everybody named Mama came out. Hey, what's going on, homie? You're not cutting off my cable, are you? I'm like, bro, I'm here. I'm strapped off, on the power line, strapped off. I'm leaning back like, no, bro, I ain't here to cut nobody off. I'm like, well, I'm here to install.
My friend's brother.
I mean, but man, let me tell you something, Gar. And you know what?
Working that job at PSC, he was a line cutter, and he told me the craziest stories.
Man, you climb that pole, you put that ladder on that pole. Don't think these people are not watching. Man, please, they'll come out. Man, you ain't. I know I ain't paying my cable bill, bro, but you ain't trying to cut me off, are you? Man, please. And let me tell you something now. White people would do the same thing. The only thing different about them was in the suburbs. Not too many of them had power poles that I had to climb. Their stuff was on the ground, what we call underground. So we
Yeah.
go to a box, open the box up, but then there's a
Demarcation
cable line ran. There's so many cable line ran to different people's houses illegally. And they be still coming out. Oh, you're not gonna cut my cable off, are you? And I'm looking at all of this. They did more stealing in the suburbs than in the hood. The hood, you had to climb up there and do that stuff. Not with them. And they knew it. Popped that every time I went to a box in the suburbs, the box was already open.
which is
Already open.
you should. I mean, it literally there's a lock on it. I mean, I think at least at my house, there's a lock on the demarcation box in the basement. So
Man, that box is so easy to take off.
I know,
Man, please.
but you know, it's the principle, bro, Mike, right? Because
Yeah.
you're not supposed
Mhm.
to. You know, there's a point where the wire is from the wire down is your responsibility, and the wire up is their responsibility.
But man, they would come out and man, they were like, you're not cutting my TV off. But this is when cable TV was the thing. So going back when I was talking about downsizing, when people realized that, you paying this cable bill for the channel and all the channels kept showing the same thing, it was like, no. Then the world wised up. Hey, they go wise up now. And that's when everything started with, they started off with Netflix, all these TV apps and everything. And people, they start, give me Netflix, boom. And then they start putting channels as their gross as too much what they're going to pay paid for and things, which was a good idea. And if your bill was too much, you can just take a channel. Oh, boom! I don't need that channel. I don't need that channel. It's just like you swipe left, and so you don't pay that monthly charge. There was more in control, and so this is where we at now. We got to start taking control. That's what we got to do. We got to start taking control. And if we don't, it may be a little bit more harder for us because it's going to get down to it. It's going to be, and when it gets to that time, like I said weeks ago, I wouldn't worry about rent, house note. No, I think everybody go pretty much be on the same totem pole. Banks ain't trying to come out there and kick you out of no house. No. The world will see this. And that's one thing I would not worry about. But
Car insurance.
not who? I know you didn't say nothing about no insurance, did you?
I said car insurance. Yeah.
Man. Oh, let me tell you something. I would say play that one by ear. When
Well, I
things is
mean, if
all
you
up in,
own your
you know what
car,
I'm saying?
what if you own the car? I
Yeah.
know the bank will take. I know the bank will take away. I know the bank could. Can't the bank seize the car if it's not, or if it's not a what you
Let me
call
tell
it?
you something, bro.
If it's not
When you're
insured.
talking about man, please. I just seen they go out there and repossess a car. My sister let her car go. And I'm like, and then she went back to California. That car sat in my mother's yard for 2 whole years. 2 whole years. My mother would get on the phone, call the people. Yeah, the car is at this address. Boom, 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 boom. 2 whole years to come and get a car. Come on now. And then what? People truthfully are not buying vehicles like that any longer.
No.
If their car's not broken, hey, they just trying to ride it on out. They're seeing things, and I can almost guarantee you, all of these car dealers have slowed down in their production of vehicles. I can almost guarantee you that they're gonna go make so many, and they're gonna stop.
I paid off my car notes, so I own my car. So I mean, that's all.
Oh, you paid
One
it
of the
off?
few things I own. Yeah, one of the few things I own. I mean, that was a blessing that I paid it all off. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, the Most High gave me an opportunity to pay it all off. So hallelujah. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I did, bro, on that. And I had a note on my truck. But when COVID kicked in, oh man, let me tell you something. I used COVID to the best of my ability. So everybody was scared to go out and go to work. I was out there working. That was just me.
It was a
I was out there
pandemic.
working.
Oh my,
Yes,
like
during the pandemic. But this is what I
pandemic.
did. I'm gonna tell you what I did though, bro. I called up, the people that I was financing the car through. I said, "Look here, you know, times are hard. Um, I like to pay, um, I like to pay this car off, but you all asking for this. I only can afford this amount of money." The lady said, "All right, we're gonna send you." She took all the information down, wrote it down, boom, boom, boom. She said, "Give us a day or two, and then we will respond to you in a couple of days." And it was about a couple of days. They sent me an email saying, "Yes, we'll take that offer." I owed like 7,000 on the vehicle. I sent them 1,500 and paid it off. That's what I did. COVID came up, and I used COVID to the best of my ability. I did not say I was having money problems. I explained that with COVID, the financial situation has turned out bad. And I said, all right, I owe this much. I can afford it. I mean, but outside of that, I have to let the car go back. I wasn't going to do that. But if they weren't going to take the offer, come and get the car. I had like 4 or 5 trucks. But anyway, long story short, they took the 1,500. I sent that off with the quickness. And they about a couple of weeks later, that's when they mailed out the title. When I say this, these companies, they're downsizing too, brothers and sisters. They are downsizing just as much. Even if it comes to a credit card, you can call them and say, "Look here, I owe this much. I can afford to pay this credit card off with this much and close the account out. But I do not want it to affect my credit rating." You'll be surprised what they work with you on. I'm serious, and it is not going to hurt no one to ask. If you have a measure of stress and this is what's caused, make a phone call. Talk to those people. Talk to them. They know there's a death of a dollar, and at the same time, why is it that you having all these major companies, their boards, they're just walking away from things? What was it, 23andMe? The whole
Yep.
board. You seen that, Garth?
Yeah, I heard about that.
And it just wasn't them. It's other something. When I tell you, brothers and sisters, there's something happening right now that we do not know, that they're trying their best to keep us in the dark. I don't want to hear another word about P. Diddy. That man is not my concern. But they got everybody all wrapped up in P. Diddy. Come on. What's
I
going
mean,
on? Then
distraction, but I mean, unless he's gonna, out like people in the government and things of that nature, they'll just use him as a distraction. But I don't know. Who knows? But that's just another distraction. But
right, and that's what it is. Oh, Sister Cassie Jones, you're right. Wells Fargo is the worst. It is absolutely the worst. Yes, it is. Woo. But when the Most High said He's going to judge the nation, He's judging all of them. The commercial side of it, the commercial side, and commercialism is a part of this system. Yeah, they may have the money and the means of moving from point A to point Z. but they're not going to escape that judgment, no matter where they go or no matter how much minerals or money that they had claimed that they stocked up. It's not going to save them. It's not. They put themselves in a position. They put themselves in a position and they marinated themselves in that position. That's what they did. And now they're under judgment. You have a vast number of white Europeans in America that has literally left and moved out of the United States. This is what they have done and is doing. We're the ones that's here and somewhat what appears to be as if we're stuck in captivity. I tell you, we must continue to put ourselves in those scriptures. And when we put ourselves in the scriptures, look at that scripture as, more, not just a warning, but also as an encouragement. The Most High told his people what he was going to do to these nations. He said that, like a lot of brothers and sisters know that, hey, there's going to be earthquakes in one place after another, food shortages and things of that nature. All of those was warnings to his people. And for those that listen, food shortage. Have you a little small garden, have you some food put up somewhere, or put up, growing, or whatever the situation may be, because it was a warning, and it's also served as this is what you need to do to prepare for that. That's all the Most High is saying to his people. That's what he's saying to his people. Let us fight to listen and apply. Fight to listen and apply what we listen to, because it's for our benefit. It's going to get to that point. And we already at that point. Truthfully, we are already at it. It's just a matter of time before somebody go ahead and say, hey, it started. When you start seeing bombs flying from here, from there to here to there to here, that's the only thing that we are not witnessing right now. That's the only thing. Everything else is already in motion. It's already in motion. My encouragement, brothers and sisters, do not let this world manipulate us into a stressful situation, because it was meant to stress you out. It was meant to stress you out. And if somebody was doing it on purpose, and you kind of find out, I'm being loyal, I'm paying my bills and things, and you mean tell me you had this system set up to stress me out? Oh yeah, you go start feeling a different way then. You go be feeling you go be feeling you go be on a whole different platform then. You will be on a whole different platform. Because now, you brothers and sisters, trust and believe, you're going to have to start making decisions based upon the survival of your family compared to um, making sure that Wells Fargo's gets its payment from you. One or the other is going to go hungry. You have to make that decision who will go hungry when it get down to it. And if you think I'm joking, we're right. We're right there at the door, and we're going to make that decision. We're
Some
going to make that decision.
of us
Say it
are.
again for me.
I was about to say some of us are literally making those decisions as we speak.
Oh yeah, I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure they're making it now. I mean, because you know what? Truthfully, the brothers and sisters, although not being awakened back in the days, even Marvin Gaye, one of his songs, "Mercy, Mercy Me," and he was talking about that. He was talking about the struggle of our people. You know, but when it's all over said and done, our people they paid their bills to keep a roof over their head. And they may be like maybe $50 or $100 short on the rent because they knew they got to feed their babies, and they just tried their best to make up for it the next month or do some overtime where they can get the money to do what they need to do. But it has always been a struggle for us. It has always been a struggle for Israel. I'm telling you, we
Bro, Mike,
we
what did you
uh-huh.
do when you thought you were in the midst of a trial and you were able to take the trial, right? And you thought the trial was ending soon, but the trial got harder.
Shoes, man. I'm gonna tell you what that was.
What is your advice?
You talking what did I do?
Or yeah, what did you do, or what is your advice when you know, when you
I would say this, and from my experience, do not let a trial frustrate you so much that when you lay down and when you get up, that's all you thinking about. That's stress. That's when that something needs to be something needs to not necessarily let go of, but put it in its proper place. That right there, man, hey, you have so many knots on your body and you're trying to figure out what, and it's stress. I'm telling you. I mean, put it in its proper place, and especially do not let it be seared into your mind. It gets seared into your mind, it's difficult to get it out. Find something, find something to do. If you know for a fact this is something that is near and dear to me, and you got to fight for it, and things of that nature. Fight what you need to fight for, what you need to fight for. And outside of that, to the best of your ability, leave that fight alone. You fought long enough on that, leave it alone till the next day. It sounds difficult.
give energy to the today's problems instead of tomorrow.
Exactly. And don't even worry about tomorrow.
But what yeah, I mean, you're right.
Mhm.
That's
Don't worry about tomorrow. I mean, I mean, you and all the other brothers and sisters, we were created for this. That's one thing we got to keep in mind. We was created for this. Thing was not going to go well with us. We want to experience some bad time, hard times, rough times. That's off the top. We were going to experience those things. We were. It was prophesied. And some of us, I mean, some situations are worse than others. But now, when you sit back, you go through these things, and now it do seems very um it don't look good for our people, especially south and southeast of the United States, because all those ports supposedly being shut down. That's it don't look good. It does not. And it wouldn't. I mean, I would not be surprised if the world is saying, "All right, we've seen this situation before. All right, look here. This is the best way to get rid of these people. All right, shut the porch down. They will starve themselves out, but then the Most High he can come back around and flip that all the way around. Never will I do away with my people Israel. That is an absolute promise from Yahuwah, who does not, and it is absolutely impossible for him to lie. We're standing right in it. This is where we at. This is where we at. Yeah, I know, Sister Zenobia, I had a buddy, and he was going through some issues. And his brother, he used to wear a faded out fro. And I mean, the stress that he was going through, girl, I mean, shoo. But he said one day, because it was stressing him out, because he was fighting for his child, and things of that nature, going back and forth to court, people all in his business and things of that nature. He said, man, one day he woke up, his afro was in his pillow. His afro was laying on his pillow. He said, man, Mike, overnight my hair fell out. Every morning I'm seeing a nice amount of my hair on my pillow. I was like, man, I was just kind of surprised that he was still alive. That's stress. You're right, Sister Kathy. That's the one that can kill. And this is one thing, brothers and sisters, we are used to hard times. The world is not. When we started our tribulation, our great tribulation in 70 CE, from 70 CE going all the way up to 2019, that's when the world was living in the lap of luxury. That was their immaculate time. I mean, they did what they wanted to do. They conquered, they destroyed, killed, mangled. That's what they did. And then on top of that, they discovered some things. And they lied. They did everything while we were going through our discipline of a great tribulation for Jacob's trouble. And we went down that bloodline. That's how we traveled through the Great Tribulation. That Great Tribulation just didn't stop with with the generation of our forefathers in Jerusalem. It kept going. Mansa Musa, all of them, Timbuktu. It kept going. It kept going. It kept going until we got to the transatlantic slave trade. And then it went into the sea, into the Atlantic, to the four corners of the earth. That tribulation traveled. That's what it did. It traveled. South America, North America, the European lands, India, That tribulation traveled for almost 2,000 years until we got to August of 2019. That's when judgment was flipped. But in between all of that time, that was the time of what the scriptures call the time of the Gentiles. And we are living proof. We are living proof that the Gentiles, they rose when we were being trampled upon. That's how they got down. That's how they came up, by means of our shortcomings, failings, sinfulness, although we did not know why we was going through what we was going through. But we just sit back and let that sink in. This is the reason why they are in their positions down to this very day. This is the reason why they are in the position that they're in. What we've been feeling for all of those years. I mean, what, you go on TikTok, man, and you talk about rough times. No, a lot of Gentiles up there, they voicing their frustration that, they working two jobs and they can't afford their house because they're living the life that their mother and father lived, their grandparents lived, their great great grandparents, their great grandparents. They was used to that life. All of them buying a house at a particular time. They trying to finish school at a particular age. They trying to have babies at this particular age. They trying to make sure everything's done according to what they are used
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Well, I am living proof of that in my family that I will not do that, nor it's going to happen here in Babylon. So I totally understand what you're saying, bro, Mike. Especially after my 35th birthday, I'm just like, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna serve the Most High and let the chips fall where they may. The ideal of me having, being married or having this big job and then, having children and then having this house and then being validated by everyone and my family in Babylon, that's all long gone, honestly.
Yeah.
I
You know,
didn't have
and,
that,
and
I didn't always have that attitude, but things just, you go through things, you have to change your mind, and then, what you once thought you absolutely needed, or thought you desired, maybe it's different, or the Most High will give it to you in a different way, or just was meant for you in that lifetime. I don't know. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
depressing, sometimes it's okay because everything here is going to be destroyed.
I mean, and that's the thing. That's one, you
That's
know.
that's really, I mean, as dark as that is, it's like, yeah, I see all my family members getting married and, having children and, getting new
Mhm.
nieces and nephews. But what, if, this whole thing is about to, to be destroyed, what is it for really? And if, what is the point of, if you have children and you rate, if they're not rate, if they don't follow the Most High, then it's kind of like, in our case, it's like we failed, or it's like, why did we have children? I think someone said that, and I mean, I forgot who said that. I know that's a harsh proverb. I think Solomon said that, but it's like, I know, yes, it was Solomon in Ecclesiastes. We said, to rear children and for them to never, you know, see salvation. It's kind of like that's also a vexation. He talks about the daily vexations of life and this time. There's a season to be happy. There's a season to be sad. There's a season to be bountiful. There's a season to have, what you deem as lack. There's a lot of things going on, you know.
Mhm. No, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. Um, I mean, like I said, we was built for this because, like I know I said a lot. The Most High, He spoke about us when we didn't exist, and He said that we will come to appreciate Him, and we take the struggles of our struggles, and truthfully, a lot of brothers and sisters they appreciate the struggle because they learned something from it. They learned something from it.
Yes,
Yeah,
bring it on. Bring me. Give me
yeah,
more. Give me more.
Mm.
No, let me shut up, bro.
man, man, please.
Please let me stop
Hey,
right
man,
now.
what they say? What did they say? My first job after graduating from college was a bank regular. Everything. This commentary. All right, yeah.
Yeah, these are just earlier comments that I made a miss that would add
You
context.
know, but we. The thing my encouragement is this. It's been encouraging to the brothers and sisters. Um, we all got different gifts, and let us take these different gifts and apply them to our brothers and sisters. Because trust and believe, we need it now. We need it now. It's just like we're going to need it more, even more so. Because truthfully, we don't even know what the next. Ooh, let me see. What's the day? Is Thursday or Wednesday?
Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, and
You
then
know, Friday,
Tuesday,
and
first, first day of October.
say it again.
I believe Tuesday is the first day of October.
Now, let me pose this to you though. It seemed like everything always get popped off on Friday.
Yep. I mean that's a common theory.
You know,
Mhm.
and so we don't know what this this weekend will bring. We do not. Well, this is like that time where we need to start bracing ourselves. We really truly need to start bracing ourselves. You know, if you talk with your family that is good and making sure that you all can meet up here and things of that nature, and you know and do what you need to do, and at the same time, brothers and sisters, now do not take the Most High for granted. And I say this for say I would say this because a lot of people think miracles is something that happened during biblical times. I don't believe that. I think
Oh,
miracles.
you're talking about
Mhm.
the the Pentecostals who just think that the well, no, I
And you got some Jehovah's Witnesses that believe that and I'm like, no, I don't believe that one now. That's just me. I'm no, and I say that
they mean
because
they think that
Hmm?
miracles are only specific to a disposition or something.
well, I'm gonna tell you what they do. Um, well, I'm not worried about they. The only my concern is the brothers. Because we're waking up. This is something that we are not used to. Truthfully, we're not used to this. We didn't know who we were until the Most High woke us up and had us to search out the book that was written for us. And when we start reading that book, and the Most High said, when you read it, oh man, no, you felt His Spirit flowing through you. Yes, you did. You felt His Spirit flowing, and it's like you read one scripture, you had an instant understanding about that scripture. And I can almost guarantee you that happened to a whole lot of you brothers and sisters with this awakening. Because the Most High said, all you got to do is ask Him to teach you, and He would teach you something He will not teach you because it's not ready for you to understand that. But for the understanding that you need, he's going to give you everything that you need in order for you to remain faithful and loyal to him. That's one thing he's going to give you. Now, it's these books that's outside the Bible, and I say the apocryphers. I include the apocryphers with the scriptures. I'm talking about all these other books. I get weary of. That's just me. It may say it may say something good about a prophet here or there, but then it may go totally on the left side of the world. So I'm not a big fan of books outside of the Bible, and I try to stick close to what the scriptures say, because I don't like that dibbling and dabbling. I don't. And I told you this, Garth, a while ago. When I'm sorry, when one of the brothers was doing a shepherding call on me, and he said, yeah, Paul was up under stress when he penned that in Romans chapter 11 about the Most High not doing away with Israel. So when he posed that to me, I was like, well, bruh, this is one question I'm just going to ask you, and it's called common sense to me.
Common sense is not common, and it comes from the Most High.
Oh, man, let me tell you something. That is, it's like a disease, man. It is absolutely like a disease. So I said to him, what man do you know of that wrote this book? It was not in the Bible where he quoted it from. He got it out of a volume that Jehovah's Witnesses printed. I said, who is the man that printed this, that was there to say that Paul was up under stress, that seen Paul up under stress? Because it's not in the scriptures. But that's the teaching that they give. And it's just not Jehovah's Witnesses. You got other religions out there that should have been said, Israel is done away with. Catholic, Seventh-day Adventist, all of them. So we have a lot that we have to contend with until we're gone. This is the grandest time in our biblical history. When I say biblical, I mean biblical, because this second Exodus would triumph the first one. It's biblical, because the Most High said this is what he's going to do for his people at this particular time. And during the 400 years, during the 400 years, he's going to judge these nations. That's what the Most High said. Do we not see that? We're seeing it. But don't let the judgment of these systems that the Most High is judging affect us so bad that we lose heart and we lose sight of what's really going on. It's not against you per se, but you're going to be affected because you live in that captivity of that nation. Listen to the Most High when he said, these are the things that's going to be happening. Food shortages and all this. All right, prepare yourself. That's all the Most High was saying. Look at the scriptures and take heed out of the scriptures and to protect yourself. You know, these are the things that's going to happen. Alrighty. I need to make sure I got a pair of good boots, hiking boots, just in case. Whatever it's going to take. But more importantly, it's the faith that's going to see us through and our reliance on the Most High. You may see yourself running out of food, brothers and sisters. What makes you think that the Most High cannot add to an empty bag? It can always appear empty, but yet and still you still baking. You still baking, but you know for a fact this bag is empty. But you still getting scoops of flour out in order for you to make some bread to feed your family. The Most High knows exactly how and when to move. Entertain that through your mind and through your heart. You're going to need that line of thinking. It's not always the way you're seeing it. It's not. And the more you start to put trust in the Most High, that's when He really He stays. He would dispatch His angels. His angel will sit there inside your house because they gonna love the spirit that you give off of trusting Him. They wants to be around that. And let me ask you this: how many angels do you think was sitting around when when Samson was being stressed by his wife? No, angels was not around. Man, please. But now you reverse that. A family that's always in prayer, that's giving glory to the Most High, they wants to be around that because they know, oh, this is going straight up to the Most High. They don't see themselves running out of food. They practice faith. They practice loyalty. And those angels going back and forth messaging back. Oh, this family here, this brother, he has his family on point. He has his family on point. And that's the thing that makes the Most High hearts overjoyed when he's seeing his people trust him. Now, if you want to see the bad side of the Most High, oh well, we gonna see that anyway. But if you want to go into the scriptures, look at our forefathers coming out of Egypt. You seen what he wanted to do to them? Let's do opposite of what our forefathers did. That's all it takes. Is being opposite of what they did. And, you know, this is what we need to do. This is a must that we do. Excuse me. And it's rough, brothers. It's rough. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm not going. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to sugarcoat this.
and thank you, Sister Nisa. I mean, I'm not too concerned about that, really, honestly. I'm just concerned about making it to
Mm-hmm.
our land and, being able to make the first resurrection. All those things and, worldly desires it's okay if I don't have them. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm not going to be sad over it. I have a job to do, and even situation we're all in now, even myself, I mean, I can't do anything but just keep going, and hopefully the Most High will provide. I mean, as much as I do not like not having control or not like, seeing or not planning, being able to plan for a month ahead or even a week ahead or I mean that even, that is challenging, and it takes um a changing of the mind as we speak. That's what I'm trying to do, and I'll be
Yeah.
a living testimony and a sacrifice. That's what I'm called to do, to be a living sacrifice to you all, to the Most High, and then to, impart that testimony of what He's going to do or has done or will do. And this is all the Spirit talking, because fleshly Garth will tell you otherwise, but the Spirit can't let me, you know, you've been too good to me to stop, and the Spirit, it keeps on telling me to keep going, and the Spirit is what I cling on to in more times than not in these. And then you realize sometimes whatever your situation was meant for bad, the Most High used it for good. So
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, bro. You know, it's when it's all over said and done, it's where our loyalty will remain, and because I mean everything that we think is bad or we it may seem that appears to be not a good situation, it's something that the devil knew exactly that he knew he needed to get us somewhat. He knew that he needed to get us somewhat mm, tied to his system to make things difficult in our loyalty to the Most High. He knew that. He knew that. He knew
As you
that.
say that,
He,
you know what?
yeah,
I went to go read Job, the book of Job, and
yeah,
oh man,
Joe. Yeah, I mean, and you know what? And he posed that to the Most High. And when it was all over said and done, Satan just walked away. He knew he couldn't break him. He just walked away and left him alone. He didn't even walk back and say, "I apologize." He just walked away because he knew he couldn't break him. The Most High already knew that about Job. He knew that. And I tell you, um, it's we got to be here for our brothers and sisters, to be encouraging, to have those ones. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Um, because it just might get a little bit more worse than what it is. I'm not gonna say it is, and I'm not gonna say it's not. But the Most High knows exactly how to protect His people. He knows exactly what He needs to do for His people. Look past the present. Look past the present. You know, and in the last 5 minutes of this here, brothers and sisters, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I'm going to talk about the QTUA Vocational Training Center. I spoke more at length yesterday about it. Wait. Let me take this out. Hold on. Wait. All right, yeah. I spoke more at length about it, and so we're hoping to get donations up to where we can get the doors open, rent these spots out, start buying some certain equipment for the schooling, and to move. I seriously believe working with nature's what is it called, Garth?
Nature's Legacy Garden.
And working with those brothers and sisters, taking their education and also applying it, within with the agricultural part of it, we're going to flourish. We're going to do that. That's one thing we're going to do. We're going to flourish, and we're going to expand on that. Because I think it was Sister Ashley, her husband. He's an electrician, and he works on solar panels. Install them. Knows how to break them down to the voltage and things of that nature. So I mean, those are the things that we're looking for in getting this training open and start to get established here on this continent. And at the same time, brothers and sisters, like I said, for us to reintroduce ourselves to our family here, because there's a lot of lies that's been told on both sides, and we need to step in between the lies. That's what we need to do. We got to start stepping in between these lies, and this is the whole purpose of this war. The world knows whoever controls Afrika controls the world. That's a very known situation. Whoever controls Afrika controls the world. That's the whole reason why you're talking about World War III. This is all about minerals. This is about minerals. not money, but minerals. And so now, yes, it's time for us to look at this vocational school and think about our future, because now we got to start training our kids and young adults in this here. Start taking these trades, and um, for us to start building up our own community, continent, because that's where it's at right now. This is where it's at. All it's going to take is a fall of one nation. One nation. That's all it takes is one nation to fall. And anything that is associated with that nation, it itself will fall at the same time. So you think about this. All the countries that are tied with the United States, that's in Africa, they're going to fall. Those nations that have any ties, when they gonna fall, they're gonna be looking for some type of protection within on that continent. Did not the Most High say He was going to draw His people, His supplants from beyond the what river was that? Garth,
Um, Rivers of Kush.
the river of the Cush. All right, you know, and where I mean, what He said. And can you brothers and sisters not see what's happening now? Do you not see Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, all these countries taking back control? It's happening. And then all you need is one country to fall. That one. Game is over. Game is over. We need this QTUA, Vocational Training Center. And this is what we're asking brothers and sisters to donate for this, so we can get this up and running, because we just not trying to be just located in Tanzania. We have associates in Rwanda, Uganda, and Ghana. We're not playing with this. We're trying to see this through. Never before in history has our people, and even on the continent, they're coming together. There was an African channel that I was looking on TikTok, and I forgot the name of it, but they just shut that channel down. Because one of the politicians in the United States was saying it was a lot of they was saying some stuff, and a lot of brothers and sisters went on there and said they lying. They seeing that channel was drawing together Africans all over the world. That's what they was doing. But it seems like that's a threat to them. This vocational training school is to draw. It's just not for the brothers and sisters here. If you have brothers and sisters here, they got kids and they move to Tanzania, they can come to this school. Yes. We need to mingle. We need to, us mingling is like medicine. Us mingling together is like medicine. We need this. I'm sorry, hold on for a moment. Specific schools. Well, right now, the school supplies, it's going to be right now just basic. We just trying to get like chairs, the TV, computer, and little small things, because we're gonna, it's going to start off small, but then in a couple of weeks, that's when we're going to get into the processing and the growing of different fruits, vegetables, and things of that nature, and how to process it, canning, canning and get into a little retail. You have it this how much here. How you can break this down. If you have let's say for instance 100 pounds of rice, how much if you started to break it down, how much you charge? I mean, how much would you charge, and in order for you to see a profit? It's just to break things down to understand. All right, if you bought 500 pounds of rice, you need to know how to break that down and how you go break your bags of rice and what the price of it would be or should be in order for you to learn how to do retail. Because I tell you now, it's something off with. I mean, here I'll say this: I had a 20. No. Yeah, I would say a 20, 15 to 20 gallon bag, brothers. Do y'all know it was a pretty big bag? I had nothing but vegetables, onions, tomatoes, bell peppers, what else? Peppers. I had some of everything. The bag was full and it was heavy. I spent $5 for all of that stuff. $5. So I mean, when you look at it, I'm not saying that then that these brothers they getting robbed, but the more you understand their system, the better off you're going to be. You understand their system. Now, like when I took a trip to Wanza, and the brothers there they was talking to me about the rice business because there's a lot of rice farmers in Wanza. But they was looking to get out of the business because they said that a particular group of people come in and buy all of their rice so cheap till they mess the market up. They mess it up. And they say it's not really truly advantageous for them to continue to do it. And I said, well, how do you figure? They said, man, please, you go buy, they get the rice. You go get rice. They'll go to them and buy let's just say 500 pounds of rice. Not even $100. Not even $100. So now good and well you already made your money back. You done bought 500 pounds of rice for less than 100. How is it that they're manipulating the system like that? That's the question. Vocational training center. This is the reason why they do not want us back on this continent. They know for a fact we would do the numbers. We will run the numbers. We will break those numbers down. And they know that there's going to be a relationship between the African diaspora along with the brothers and sisters here. They're going to know we're going to have an understanding. They're going to start to see, fruits of their labor. They know this. This is the reason why they do not want us here. This is the reason why they make it so difficult for us to come here and to do business. Very difficult because they know that we know the system and they do not want to get our hands and minds involved in it because they are the ones that are flourishing. But the sad thing about it is for them, a lot of them don't even know we woke. That's a very dangerous position for them to be in. A very dangerous position. So, brothers and sisters, forward to meeting with you, brothers and sisters, tomorrow. Hope that we don't know what can transpire from this time until Friday. I mean, I would just say, stay on guard. Stay on guard. And for your brothers and sisters, Garth, you have the information up for the for the brothers and sisters for them to do the they wanted to donate to the vocational school. All righty. And so, brothers and sisters, you all be safe out there. Keep your head on the swivel. Um, Continue to draw together um, as a family, and let us all continue to work together. And on that note, I hand it back to you, Brother Garth.
All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Thank you.